this series that I'm doing for Budgeting 101. And if you're watching this video and you're looking for more information, and this is a great place to listen and get started, because I'm going to be sharing some information that most people don't share when it comes to budgeting. Most people don't talk about this, about the biggest thing that's going to determine your success or failure with budgeting, and that's your mindset. It sounds so simple, but it really is quite difficult, because that is kind of where we get into trouble in the first place with managing our finances, is our budgeting. And I probably should have called this video series the secret sauce of budgeting, but I called it Budgeting 101 because I just felt like this is something that you should really start with. But anyway, so if you didn't watch the last video, watch the last video. I talked about having the right perspective. Especially if you're in the United States, having the right perspective in terms of where you stand in terms of your income and your finances if you live in the United States, because it's extremely important to start with the right perspective. The second thing that you want to do is you want to have the right attitude, and the biggest attitude that is going to determine your success or failure with your budgeting is the attitude of gratitude. And why do I say this? I say this because one of the biggest challenges with trying to manage your budget is determining the difference between a want and a need. And so when you are thinking about things that you're going to include in your budget, when you're determining how you're going to allocate your funds, you have to determine, okay, is it something that I really want, or is it something that I really need? Is it something that I can really do without because I can either accomplish this financial need in a different way, or I can delay the gratification of that particular thing that I want. And I'm just gonna use myself for an example, because one of the things that I struggle with the most is eating out. I love eating out. I love going to restaurants. I prefer going to sit down restaurants, but I just like the experience of the service and good food, and just a place to be quiet and just read or work on my computer or whatever. But I just love eating out. I love eating out, and I have to constantly, when I am managing my finances throughout the week, I have to constantly say, okay, I want to go and eat out. I want to go to this restaurant or grab something to eat, but do I really need that? Do I really need to drop by, this place to get something to eat? Or do I have that food at home? Can I carve out the time? Can I realistically carve out the time if I plan to fix the meal that I want to eat versus going out and spending some money? Now, don't get me wrong. Because I love to eat out, I will make that a treat for myself. So if if I feel like I, went all week and I accomplished my goals, then, when I reward myself, I'm going to reward myself with a meal. Maybe something different for you, But everyone has their vices. Everyone has their struggles in terms of the things that they really want, and making the delineation between wants and needs. And the best way to do that, and this is with everything, not just with budgeting, but I'm using this example with budgeting, but with everything really. When you can get into the habit of exercising an attitude of gratitude, it changes everything. It literally changes how you feel physically. It literally changes how you feel. If you're really stressed out about something, or stressed out about a situation, and you just take a moment to breathe and you think about all the things that you have to be grateful for. If you have a pulse, you have something to be grateful for. And there are a lot of the most difficult times in my life when I just really didn't know how I was going to get through, whether it involved my finances or personal things or professional things, when I was really, really stressed out, and I just took a moment to breathe and think about all the things that I had to be grateful for and how things could be so much worse, then it really, really helped me to get through that situation. And so it's going to be the same thing with your budgeting. Because you're going to have those moments where you can be like, just forget it. You know, I messed up here, I overspent here, I overspent there. It doesn't matter. You know, this is something that I need because of whatever. No, you want to, you know, step back and say, okay, you know, I already have this particular item or this particular thing that I want, or I could get it a different way, or I have it already. You know, maybe it's something that you want to get that's new. You got something that's older, you know, and you really want a new computer, or you really wanted that new pair of shoes, new pair of black shoes, and you got the perfect excuse that to go and buy it because you got something coming up. But at the end of the day, you know that you really have what you need already in your closet, and you can just use what you have. And that's where your attitude of gratitude is really going to really benefit you, and is really going to serve you very well. And if you establish that habit, there's really a neurological change that happens in your brain when you establish certain habits. And when you, whether they're good or bad, you actually create tracks in your brain so that you start thinking a certain way without even trying, and it goes into your subconscious, and it's just something that you do automatically. You want to do the same thing when you're thinking about your budget, when you're thinking about your spending habits. You want to, you know, whenever you get stuck on whether you're going to spend money on something, think about, okay, do I have what I really need right now? Can I be grateful for that and celebrate that and ruminate on that positivity, and let this other thing go that's really going to bust my budget, and I'm not going to be able to reach my ultimate goals that I have. So that's all I have for today. All the best to your success. And so I also want to make sure that I go over the 3 things that you really need to do if you want to become financially fit and establish your foundation to start building wealth. You want to get my free book. It's a free download. It's called Make, Manage, and Master Your Money. Make sure you get that. You want to make sure that you increase your cash flow so that you can start saving and getting out of debt. And you can do that immediately without working any extra overtime, working a second job, without changing your budget or getting into any debt or anything like that. So you can check the description below in terms of how you can get an instant pay raise. You also want to start saving in gold. You want to save at least 1 gram a month. If you can't do that, you can save a minimum of 1/10 of a gram. Something is better than nothing. The biggest thing you want to do is just to get started. So anyway, if you haven't done so already, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you'll get all the latest updates. And I'm going to have a couple more parts of this series, so stay tuned. Talk to you later.